Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching this in the world. I hope you guys are doing okay. So today we're going to be doing a slightly different video because I've been paying attention to a situation that has been occurring between an individual called Alyssa Mecante, who some of you are probably aware of, and a content creator that goes by the name Vera Dark. There was a panel or some sort of like meeting where Alyssa and a bunch of other game designers were sitting at Summer Games Fest, and Alyssa grabbed the microphone and she said this.
I want people in the industry to be a little bit louder about people being mean to other people. And maybe say it's not a good thing.
Yeah.
Maybe say we don't want you around if you're gonna be a cunt
Yeah.
and hateful. And that the games industry is diverse naturally. Not because anyone's making them be diverse. Because the world is diverse, you stupid motherfucker. And if you have a problem with that, come fight me. Physically. Bitch.
Has anyone taken you up on that yet?
No, because they're all pussies.
Yep.
Which I was watching and I thought, wow, that is an incredibly stupid thing to say to people on the internet. Now apparently this was directed at Vara, but it seemed like an open challenge to me because there are a lot of people that don't like this woman. Obviously, like I said, you guys are probably aware of her. We've covered her before. She works over at Kotaku, the publication that absolutely nobody respects. But even though I don't like Alyssa, and even though I don't like the whole Sweet Baby Inc. stuff, Kotaku, this whole DEI nonsense, the last thing on my mind would be to challenge people that disagree with me to a fight over a video game. Now obviously a lot of the back and forth that people have over these things can become somewhat vitriolic, but I'm sure it doesn't cross most people's minds that they want to go and beat somebody up because they don't agree with their politics in the games or the way the games are being created or the way characters are being portrayed. I make some videos on here sometimes covering these sort of things. We recently just spoke about Silent Hill and the video was very positively received, but you do get comments of people that are not happy with your take, that say you're whining and crying, and to me that's all fine. That's their opinion, that's their perspective on the video, and we get into it on the comment section. There can be back and forth verbally, but when it crosses over into trying to attack somebody, it doesn't really make any sense. And this isn't like she wants to do a charity boxing match, even though that would be ridiculous itself. She's actually told Vara, and I think whoever else she's calling out, that she's very happy to not have this a sanctioned match and just to do a street fight. And she's also posting up pictures of her in the gym or showing off her muscles. Alyssa, I hate to break it to you, as somebody that has done martial arts, having muscles will not save you in the fight. It can certainly help if you know how to use them, but simply going to the gym does not mean you know how to fight. And I would be really careful about calling people out on the internet. You don't know what kind of psycho you're going to attract, especially when you don't want to go for a sanctioned fight, you want to have a street fight. Now I hate to go down this road, but Alyssa's the kind of person that thinks that men and women have no biological differences whatsoever, and so you're inviting a whole world of problems to your doorstep simply because someone disagrees with your viewpoints on games. Now she's saying that there is no forced diversity in video games, even though there is a thing called DEI which we have spoken in length about. There are people from Kotaku, from Sweet Baby Inc. and from the games industry saying in 4K that they only hire certain types of people because they want to be diverse and inclusive.
Is team. Who is your team? A little background about this. I have a team of 21 right now for Validate. It's a pretty big team. It's a crazy big team for indie games. But who is your team? Validate has a team of mostly all people of color. We have no white people on our team. I did that because I wanted to create a safe environment. And I know the best way for an environment to be safe is to be around people who are just like me. And I'm not saying that white people in the industry are creating unsafe environments. I'm not saying that. That is not what I'm saying. I am saying that sometimes it is hard to work with white people because they think that something made okay, but it was really a microaggression. And no one wants to deal with that while they're trying to make a game that they love.
If you're a creative working in AAA, which I did for many, many years, put this stuff up to your higher-ups. And if they don't see the value in what you're asking for when you ask for consultants, when you ask for research, go have a coffee with your marketing team and just terrify them with the possibility of what's going to happen if they don't give you what you...
We've covered this before, we've spoken about it in length, other content creators like Endymion have spoken about it in length. Everybody knows that it's a thing, so I don't know why she's saying that. Now, even if you were able to beat up the people that are disagreeing with you, what would that prove? When it gets to the point that you want to physically harm people because they are going against what you're saying, it kind of just makes you look childish and silly. You can work in the games industry, nobody's stopping you from doing it, and you can have your views and your points, but we don't have to follow suit. Now, I've only really just started watching Vara's content, and obviously I'm aware of Alyssa, but I have my views on this whole DEI thing as well. You're going to challenge me to a fight? You're going to challenge everyone to a fight that doesn't agree with you? Yes, you come across like a smug bitch. It's no wonder people don't like you. You have a really dislikable personality. From all the interviews that I've watched about you, from all the podcasts that I've seen you appear on, and for the things that you've wrote in Kotaku, you seem like a very, very dislikable person. So I'm not surprised that there's a lot of content creators on the internet that don't like you. But I wanted to highlight this to you guys because obviously we have discussions on this channel. Mostly we cover fighting games, but you guys know I play loads of different games and I like doing loads of different things. And we have disagreements on this channel, and people that are not subscribed to my channel come over here and sometimes we'll have disagreements. Sometimes they'll be a little bit more heated, but at no point will I type in the comment section, let's have a fight over it, over a video game. It seems bizarre to me that somebody that works in the industry is openly challenging people to street fights. Now Alyssa, like I said, you're the kind of person that doesn't think there's any biological differences between men and women, and so you're kind of attracting anyone to come and fight you on the streets. I hate to break it to you, but if a man rolls up and decides to box you, there's very little that you're going to be able to do. I don't know why you would go so far as to challenge Vara to a fight. I don't know why you would go so far as to challenge anyone to a fight if it wasn't because your views and your points have been pushed back on so much that maybe you're questioning them yourselves. A lot of people don't like this DEI stuff. A lot of people don't like where it's pushing games. It's very obvious when characters get race swapped or gender swapped, or when something is forced into the games and people vote with their wallets and they review bomb these games. They're allowed to do that, just like you're allowed to make the games. And I would encourage you, if it's something that you want to do, or if you want to continue writing articles with Kotaku, for as dumb as I think they are, and for as dumb as most people think they are, you have a right to write them. I'm not going to punch you up over it or threaten to punch you over it, and I wouldn't threaten to punch anybody at Kotaku over it. Yeah, I think you guys are insufferable. Most of us do. Most people that play video games don't like you. Maybe the people in the industry because you know them, or there is a certain shared mentality within the games industry, at least the Western side, I don't know. But I wanted to show you guys this. It shouldn't ever get to the point where we are threatening each other because our political views are different, or because the way we see games are different. Like I said, I've made videos on Helldivers, on Silent Hill, on Assassin's Creed, and I get the vitriolic messages. When I made the Assassin's Creed video, I got called a leftist. When I made the Silent Hill video, I got called someone on the extreme right. And so you can't really win with people. But those are all words on the internet. It's a bit different when you start invoking violence and then posting pictures up of yourself in the gym as if to try to threaten people or intimidate them. It's quite pathetic and quite sad. I'm not surprised that Alyssa went down this road, because for the amount of time that I've been covering her, there aren't many intelligent things that come out of her mouth, and this is really the cherry on the top of the whole situation. Now apparently Vara did actually accept the fight and Alyssa backed out of it. She accepted having a boxing match. I think they were going to have Keemstar do the whole facilitation of the whole thing. She didn't want to do that. She said, how about Hassan? Apparently Vara agreed, and then Alyssa backed out anyway. And so this is going to turn to a situation where you fuck around, you find out. And like I said, I don't really want to see Alyssa get smacked up. She does talk a lot of shit, but I don't really want to see her get punched around. I don't really want to see anybody that is on the opposite side of the conversation to me get punched up over a video game. We should be able to have disagreements. We should be able to push back on things that we don't like. When Stellar Blade was coming out, the Alyssas of the world were pushing back on it, and they were saying they didn't like it, and they were giving it some negative press. And for the majority of gamers who picked it up, and for the majority of people that I interacted with, they were very positive towards it. But Alyssa and Alyssa's type of people have a right to push back on Stellar Blade. I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. I also don't think there's an issue with us basically calling out the games industry for the very deliberate forced diversity that a lot of people of color actually find a little bit insulting. The Alyssa types will obviously ignore you. Even when you say you're a person of color, they'll dismiss you, they'll make out like you don't exist. And clearly, even with females, because Vara obviously doesn't agree with her and she's gone after her as well. And I expect this situation is going to continue to explode. But I wanted to show it to you guys guys, because these are the people that are affecting our video games, and they don't like where the conversation's going, and they are starting to lash out now. Challenging somebody to a street fight because you don't like the content they make on you is a very weird thing to do, considering it's about video games. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about all of this, and I'll catch you all very soon. Take care and peace.